Good morning. We have our first speaker here, Mr. Sanjay Mehta. Mr. Sanjay Mehta, President of Material Recycling Association of India and Director of MTC Group, brings along a vast experience of more than 35 years in metal scrap recycling trade in India and international trade. Having his offices in USA, UK, Singapore, and Dubai, Mr. Mehta has traveled extensively all over the world. He has been handling the international business of his MTC group. Mr. Sanjay Mehta will be presenting on vehicle recycling opportunities and challenges. We are glad to have you on the stage, sir.
Thank you, Chelsea. Good morning, everyone. Distinguished speakers and participants at this webinar organized by Urdhva R Commerce. Mr. I think so in opening speech, I've heard that 90%, your main dialogue was that 90% is organized, and we need to make more organized people in India in the recycling business. Before I begin my role topic, vehicle recycling opportunities and challenge, let me introduce our association MRAI and its activities. Material Recycling Association of India is the apex body of Indian recycling fraternity with over 1,200 members representing the cross sections of the industry, consisting all the important sectors like ferrous, non-ferrous, plastic, e-waste, tires, paper, and everything. Over the last 10 years, MRA has been actively engaged in promoting responsible recycling across our member industries. Our efforts in conjunction with government and its various ministries have started yielding remarkable benefits in recently, both to the industry and the society and the economy at large. There is a widespread recognition of recycling and its varied benefits for the land, environment, and economy in last few years. More importantly, India has started experiencing transformation of the large informal sector in recycling into the formal and getting increasingly organized. I may add the latest announcement of the government of the vehicle recycling policy in the current year's budget is a feather on our cap. It is a result of our consistent efforts in collaboration with like-minded organizations like Society of Indian Automobile Association, SIAM, that we have been able to discuss the topic of the day today. Vehicle recycling has the innate ability to be the game changer of India and its journey to become Atmanirbhar. Before I move forward, I request host to play the video of MRI as an introduction part. Thank you. I request host to play the video, please.
MRAI is the apex association of India, representing the voice of the Indian recycling industry, with a vision to promote responsible recycling in the country. MRAI was established in the year 2011 as Metal Recycling Association of India, with a focus on secondary ferrous and non-ferrous metals. However, over the years, MRAI has expanded its reach to include other recyclables such as plastic, paper, e-waste, tire and rubber, glass, automobiles, etc. The name of the association has since been changed to reflect the same, and today Material Recycling Association of India has a collective strength of more than 1,200 members, representing various recyclable commodities and comprising over 20,000 small, medium and large enterprises, directly and indirectly employing 25 lakh people. Recycling has multifold benefits beyond just saving landfill acreage. To list a few, It replaces the need and dependence on finite virgin materials such as iron ore and bauxite and increases the resource security of the nation. Use of recycling processes consumes less energy and water and reduces greenhouse gas emissions when compared to primary processes that use virgin ores. Recycling generates 6 times as many jobs as just waste management practices. Recycling is a pan-India activity employing people from all backgrounds, including women and low-skilled labor. Recycling industry requires less capital investment, has a lower gestation period, and can be set up close to generation and consumption points. MRAI is officially recognized by the Government of India, and it regularly interacts with various departments at a local, state, and national level. MRAI has worked with many government ministries on different policies and studies related to recycling, such as the Draft National Material Recycling Policy, Niti Aayog, Steel Scrap Policy, Ministry of Steel, End-of-Life Vehicle Recycling Policy, Ministry of Road Transport and Highway, Resource Efficiency Policy, MOEF, Study on Ferrous Market in India, JPC, Study on Aluminium Market in India, Ministry of Mines, and many more. Our industry contributed to the government's Swachh Bharat, Make in India campaigns and policy of Plastic Park. India's recycling rate at a meager 20% is well below global averages. We all need to collectively work hard to promote recycling as a sustainable business model. MRAI's vision is to work alongside industry and government and help create advanced infrastructure and right policies which could push the recycling rate above 50% in next 5 years. The world is working towards zero waste policies and circular economy concepts. India cannot afford to be left behind. The trade and free flow of recyclables must also be promoted so that Indian consumers and manufacturers continue to have access to environmental friendly and competitive resources and raw materials. We strongly believe that scrap is a mine above earth, and any wastage of scrap or impediments in recycling is a crime against future generations. From this platform, we would like to thank all our members for their long-term association with MRAI. We invite all of you to continue on this journey with us as we work towards making India a global recycling and manufacturing hub with sustainable growth. MRAI, Material Recycling Association of India, the voice of the Indian recycling industry.
Thank you, host. Scrap is mine above the earth. We need to be responsible recycler. This was the message. I'm sure you must have understood that what we are and what we do in the society and along with the government on recycling industry. Before I move further, I must introduce my company MTC as well. My company MTC has evolved into a one-stop shop for recycling over the last 4 decades of its existence. Active in the entire gamut of recycling, be it ferrous, non-ferrous, plastic, e-waste, or construction and demolitions, MTC Group has pan-India operations besides having its business operations overseas at USA, UK, Singapore, UAE, and Africa as well. What is not a widely known fact that MTC Group has been carrying out dismantling and demolition of industrial plants for more than 10 years now. Even leading automakers like Toyota, Maruti prefer our company MTC Group for dismantling of their new testing and prototype vehicles, which we do at our existing facilities in Chennai and Sanand, Gujarat. Given such a background, we are now planning to set up our own ELV shredding plants at major industrial hubs across India to take advantage of the mega opportunity that vehicle recycling would be opening up for the developing country like India, where lakhs of vehicles are waiting to be dismantled. As I mentioned before, vehicle recycling has an innate ability to be the game changer for India and its journey to become Atmanirbhar Bharat. It is a mega opportunity unfolding, and it is at this juncture when the country is thriving to develop as a self-reliant nation with focused programs like Make in India, Make for the World, with a large population of end of life vehicles and with lakhs of vehicles getting added to that pool every year, vehicle recycling could provide the resource efficient country a rich reservoir of raw materials, saving precious forex and natural resources as well. For example, a typical passenger car consists of about 70% of steel and iron by weight and 7 to 8% non-ferrous metals like aluminum, zinc, copper. The rest 20-25% is plastic, rubber, glass, which all are recyclable. Proper recycling of the abundant pile of ELV could help the local auto and its auxiliary industries to take the growth trajectory in no time. The auto industry turnover is estimated to get a boost of 20 to 30% of growth, and its current turnover of rupees 4.5 lakh crore could clock rupees 10 lakh crore in near future if the policy is properly implemented. At the same time, the steady supply of steel and other materials are expected to make auto parts 15 to 25% cheaper, in my opinion, as the industry start using more recycled materials. As per the policy, the government is eyeing to set up 100 vehicle scrapping centers and 75 fitness centers in next few years to come. If we leverage the opportunity well, experts estimate it would help bring in an additional investment of rupees 10,000 crore. More importantly, it will create lakhs of new jobs for the youth of this country. Replacing old cars with fuel efficient new vehicles could bring the government rupees 30,000 to 40,000 crores in GST and other taxes as well. The clear air, decongested roads, and pollution free environment and freeing of large tracts of land assets are not just perks that some come along as a result of recycling of old and unusable vehicles. Remember, India houses 22 of the world's 30 polluted cities. Strict adherence to the rules of automobile recycling would also help India to achieve sustainable development goals without strenuous efforts. As India is racing towards becoming a dynamic auto manufacturing hub, from the present status as the fifth largest auto industry of the world, automobile recycling is going to be present at a market opportunity worth nearly 50 lakh new jobs. Now let us look at some of the challenges as well in the policy regime that we have the potential to keep us away from achieving desired results and enjoying the aforesaid benefits and advantages. The first and foremost challenge is the reality that automobile recycling is presently practiced by informal sector, which accounts for more than 98% of the activities today. Formal organized players have entered the segment very recently in last 2 to 3 years, which are also very few companies. Most of the operations are carried out in small units, majority situated in or next to large towns and residential areas, and are using crude, unhygienic methods, posing grave health, occupational, and environmental hazards. Being small and unorganized, they are outside the purview of the regulatory radar also. As we talk, India does not have the infrastructure required, both physical and regulatory infrastructure. For the country of such a large population of ELV and big steel industry, it did not have a single shredder still recently before the recent entry of a couple of corporate entities to the vehicle recycling segment. India did not have a dismantling unit as well as per the organized way. In fact, we need to start from scratch, so to say, and it has its own issues to be addressed as well along with the policy. Absence of clear-cut goals, posts, and laid out plans in the policy could also come in the way of implementing the policy and its delivery the desired results. Involvement of interministerial authorities could pose a great challenge because without the right kind of coordination, nothing much could be moved on the ground, just mere with the policy of paper policy. It would be a Herculean task in the absence of a single authority or ministry to supervise the developments. We as MRAI are requesting the government to think of having a dedicated ministry who looks after all kinds of recycling scrap industry be it metal, paper, plastic, e-waste, tire, rubber, glass. Every recyclable items require different kinds of process. Unless a single ministry will not be there, this huge biggest employment generating sector and turnover and GST collection center will be behind even after the policy is implemented. Though it is a welcome policy initiative of the government, which we welcome with both hands as a first step of its kind, the policy leaves some important gaps to be filled. For example, the policy seems to stop at the door of dismantlers as it gives detailed descriptions of the process and procedures of testing of the vehicles and their dismantling, with incentives others to encourage vehicle owners to part with their older vehicles. The policy is silent about the way forward after dismantling and retrieval of the materials from vehicles. Ideally, the use and reuse of recyclable and other materials after the dismantled vehicle should also be part and parcel of the policy statements. There are no quality parameters laid out in policy guiding the use or reuse of the materials recovered from a vehicle. In any form of recycling, the role played by the manufacturers have been given utmost importance. Like, for example, in plastic or e-waste recycling, product developers are also key players in the recycling value chain. At the time of designing of the parts, it has to be designed in such a way that all these parts are 100% recyclable at the end of its life, so that it should not go into landfills, as many things are used in our day-to-day lives, but it's everyone's collective responsibility that after usage it should go for smooth recycling. But that emphasis is found missing in vehicle recycling policy in its current version. Vehicle manufacturers are the most knowledgeable stakeholders in the entire life cycle of the vehicle. They play a key role as their decisions after often directly affects the recyclability of their products as well through their car design, choice of material, fuel efficient, hybrid, dual fuel or electric vehicle, and other aspects as well. Keeping them out of the implementation and other responsibilities aspects in the policy could hamper the policy from fully delivering the benefits. ELV recycling requires massive infrastructure and capital investments. Before I sum up, in such a situation, EPR could provide a broad-based solutions to auto recycling problems. EPR will shift the financial burden of recycling from the taxpayer or government to the producer and consumer of the product. EPR is a practice and a policy approach in which producers take responsibility for managing their products at the end of their useful lives. It is highly recommended by MRI that EPR is also made part of the parcel of vehicle recycling policy. The sooner the better. We can be a responsible recycler with this right policy and right. If we involve all these challenges, then the documents will be proper for the vehicle recycling policy. Thank you very much for inviting me on this beautiful seminar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We were pleased to have you two on with us. So if the delegates have any questions, they might post it in the chat box. Sentences will be answering all of them. Everyone kindly post your questions in the chat box. Sanjay sir will be them.
She will ask you. She will ask you.
The policy document is not enforced so far fully. It has been a draft has been issued, and government is still discussing with the most of the key players associations like with us and the SIAM and everyone, and they are trying to compile all the suggestions whatever they are receiving. And yes, I think so. In next 6 to 8 weeks of time, the policy should be enforced and should be released, but it will require many changes, many amendments will come. As the definitely when any policy is implemented, and this is a ELB big policy document, so many teething problems will definitely we will face. And surely, as and when the whatever the suggestions government will receive, like this EPR is not in the policy, so now they are getting suggestions from the association like us, and definitely that will they may consider EPR as a policy documents. So still it will take time, 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 10, 12 weeks also. The COVID situation is also there, so it will be it will take another 2 to 3 months to implement fully. Material
have one
recycling
question.
challenges. Yeah. Yes,
Sorry to
Chelsea.
interrupt. We have one question from Rahul Vinod. He asked us, how can we start a new business in scrap?
There is no documents available on the government domain. Definitely, you can be a responsible recycler, organized recycler. If you want to see the how the responsible recycling is being done in the metal recycling, especially in metal recycling, you can visit our yard also. And there is not much licensing authority. It is a small license has to be taken from the Pollution Control Board as a recycler processor, and then you can start collecting scrap from the markets or from the OEM, whatever. There are various ways of doing the scrap collections from the local vendors or from the OEM. So India is such a large country. Every city has various opportunities in the scrap. So can start very well, no problem at all.
Question from Mr. Damodaran Thangewal. He has asked, different states will have different policies?
No. It is a central document. State may add their suggestions as well, but they cannot deny these documents to implement. State will promote this policy with more lucrative ideas and with more lucrative benefits as well. Whatever the central government is going to give registration discount on the central government taxes, apart from that, state may add few more benefits to promote recycling and promote more ELB yards in their own state. Every state will come forward as the policy moves forward. Many states will come forward to open up yards in their respective states also. This will create more employment. Definitely, the state will also give more benefits, small benefits or more benefits also into the kitty to the recyclers. OEM government has requested OEM to give 5% discount on the new vehicle purchase. So every OEM will start. Someone will give 2%, some may give 4%, some may give 6 to 8%. It depends upon the OEM to OEM what kind of productions they want to take it forward of the new cars. So once the EPR, the OEM discounts, the state discounts, central government registration discount, all this will come combined. It may have a good policy documents going forward. That is why it will take a little bit more time. That as we move forward, and shredding, especially shredding, is a big facility. It requires good investment. So people will think that is why so far the corporate players have come. The collection of the material is not a big job. The shredding is a big job. So it will definitely take more time to come up such kind of facilities in India. Government has done their part, and government has given discounts also. Government has given rebate also in registration fees and everything. But we need to see that how this policy rollouts in next few months of time. We don't
We have
import.
one question from Nishant Pawar. What would the
Yeah.
rise of electric vehicle have an impact on automotive recycling in a long-term
No.
horizon?
It will even the Niti Aayog document also, or Niti Aayog also says that after 2040-45, we will have a big chunk of ELV vehicles on the road. Before that, the automobile recycling definitely will go as it is. Definitely, electric car is the next option, and it will take another 15-20 years for automobile for automobile good productions, as well as ELV on the road, not end of life vehicle on the road, vehicles on the road. So I don't think so. Next 15, at least 15-20 years, there is no threat to the automobile industries. Definitely, there is no threat. We have own issues in our country of infrastructure. Charging stations has to come up. Many charging stations has to come up. So it's not very easy. Like we have a petrol pumps. So same like the petrol pumps, many charging stations also has to come up, and many companies should start producing electric vehicles in a on a mass level. It will take time. It will take time. I don't think so. It will take, definitely it will take time. It is not it is not threat to the industry, to automobile industry. Definitely. Vintage
We have
car.
one question
Yeah.
from Saurabh Mittal. Being a PVC recycler from last 25 years plus, how can we contribute for automobile recycling?
PVC recycling. I don't have much knowledge about the plastic business myself. My another cousin brother is handling the plastic divisions, but definitely in plastic there is a EPR on the documents. It's compulsory. EPR is there. 35% of the EPR is there. So there is a scope in the plastic recycling, and MREI is continuously organizing plastic webinar to promote EPR, and we are discussing with the government the issues what we are getting in the EPR documents. And in times to come, plastic recycling is going to be boom in this in India. It is going to be organized sector in next 10 to 15 years of time. As on today, plastic recycling across the country, in small town, small villages, there may be 300,000 or 400,000 plastic recyclers. They are not organized, but we are trying to educate them. We need to make plastic recycling, responsible plastic recycling, awareness of the plastic use and everything, and the responsible recycling. And I can see that plastic recycling is the next boom in this industry, in recycling business.
Next, we have a question from Mr. Mohammed Umar Farooq. He has asked, Sir, don't you think instead of asking the producers, we as recycler need to develop our facilities according to the developing industries?
They are doing it, but we are asking producer to because EPR is implemented worldwide, and EPR will solve the problems. Uh, Extensive producer responsibility is a game changer in every product, every recycling product, in plastic, in e-waste, everywhere. That is their responsibility. What you are producing, it is your responsibility to recycle responsibly, get the recycling responsibly. So if we make manufacturers responsible, definitely they will design the vehicle, and their parts accordingly. Whatever recycling is possible, accordingly you have to make the design of the vehicles and parts responsibly. So it is compulsory to make them responsible, and to design a vehicle accordingly. So everything can be recyclable. Zero waste should be the policy.
Next, we have a question from Santosh Rajkumar. What are the challenges and government ministry requirements to start a formal recycling business?
Yeah, there are various formal recycling business. We all are MRA members. Many members, you can say 80 to 90% of the factories or recyclers are the responsible recyclers and the formal sector only. We are not doing roadside recycling in hazardous way or environment. We don't burn plastic or iron or anything. We don't gas cut or we can say anything on the open way. And whatever the norms are there, pollution control norms, we have to take care of those pollution control norms. We have to do mechanized way of recycling. So definitely employment will be generated along with the mechanized recycling also. But then yes, there are not much challenges, I can say. To set up a unit, there are challenges. To set up a unit, we need policy documents. We need to be benefits from the government. Say that like ELV setup of a unit. If you start buying ELV and responsible recyclers, there are expenses. There are huge kind of good expenses. So to take care of those expenses, you need supports from the government. So that is why the ELV policy has been issued. So formal recycling, to set up a formal recycling unit, you need to have a mechanized some kind of mechanized systems and mechanized machines to be a responsible recycler.
We will be conducting the business questions in the Q&A session later on. So currently, we have a question from Mr. Pramod. He has asked, what would be the impact on domestic scrap market after successfully execution of vehicle scrappage policy?
There will not be any kind of impact of the downfall or any kind of threat to the domestic scrap market. The scrap consumption is going to increase day by day. We have to make 300 million tons of steel. Today we are making 120 million tons of steel. Out of that, about 45 million tons of steel is being produced by the secondary sector. In that 45 million tons, we are using about 28 million tons local arising of scrap, balance imports, and plus sponge iron we are using. As if we try to get 300 million tons of productions by 2030 also, at least 100 million tons we have to produce through recycling route. So those 100 million tons we will require more scrap. So this vehicle recycling definitely will add 7-8 million tons or 10 million tons total scrap. And as every year the more vehicles will be added, 1 or 2 million tons or 3 million tons scrap will be added into the kitty. But then productions will increase. We will require more scrap. So we don't have to import more. Whatever imports as on today, we are doing it 7 million tons, 6 million tons, 7 million tons. I say that if we reach 100 million tons also, our import will not is not going to increase. The collection is going to increase. Vehicle recycling is going to increase. The domestic collection and arising is going to increase. The productions the local productions of the through recycling route will take care will take the more material from the domestic market, and domestic market will supply more material to the secondary sector. So the domestic market is going to be very good in next 10-15 years of the time. Definitely, there is no threat of the ELV. ELV is going to support. ELV is going to complement. ELV is going to definitely stop more foreign exchange to go out and reduce the imports. We should promote ELV instead of that. And domestic scrap collection is going to increase like anything. Evenly, government is supporting ship breaking industry also. Government is supporting domestic scrap business also. Government is not promoting import of scrap. We as a MRAI is trying to make easy for the MRA members that whatever hurdles we face on day-to-day basis on imports of scrap, Definitely, if we get availability of scrap in India, we don't have to import much scrap. But whatever the grades are not available, like 80% of the aluminum we need, we have to import. At least 70 to 80% of the brass scrap we have to import. So lead we have to import. More than 40-50% of the lead scrap we have to import. So whatever is compulsory is there, we need to import. 15% of the total scrap requirement of the country we are importing. Previously also we are importing today also. So this will go on for next 10-15 years. But domestic is rising will increase. ELV will give more scrap. The imports will definitely stable at the rate of 7-8 million tons only.
Due to the shortage of time, we will be taking a few questions in the end of the session.
No
So
problem.
we will be providing you with Mr. Sanjay's email ID, so you can post all your queries there. So now currently we will be ending the session with Mr. Sanjay Mehta. It was great to have you on the stage, sir. We were very
Thank you.
pleased
Thank
to
you.
have you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will be shortly starting with the next session.